Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, we are in the middle of heavy rains and some parts of this country like Nairobi, the neighboring and other areas are experiencing floods. For Nairobi alone, more than 16 people have been reported dead as a result of these floods. Then more than 60,000 families have been displaced in Nairobi only. So this is a disaster, in as much Ruto has not declared it as a disaster. And beside this, the Nairobi Governor, Johnson Sakaja, has been the topic of the day. People are putting blame on him, and it seems he's attempting to shift this blame. But the worst for him is that even his own people in UDA party, they are on his neck. So there is something Sakaja said, that he's being fought in Nairobi simply because he's working closely with Raila Odinga. So the beating is coming from both sides, the Azimio, the Kenya Kwanza, everyone, including his own close allies that even helped him to become the governor, either directly or indirectly. So when he said that people are fighting him because he's working with Raila Odinga, the response came from ODM. And this is what we are getting here. First of all, I want to read what Caleb Kamisi said. And this is his position. Sakaja says he's being fought for working with Raila Odinga. Please explain to Nairobians how you are working with Raila. Do you work as a house help in his house? Even me, I was asking myself, how is Sakaja working with Raila? Anafanya kazi na Raila kwa njia ipi? Sijaona hata wakiamuka siku moja waende kulaunch mradi na Raila Odinga ama kuzindua. I have not seen him coming openly to say that Raila Odinga has advised me how to go about this issue, and indeed this is the position I am taking to deal with the problem. I have not seen that. Then beside this, Babu Owino also responded to this. And this is what Babu Owino is saying. Sakaja is incompetent and he must go home. Let him not say that he is being fought because he's working with the Raila. Baba doesn't support mediocrity. That is Babu Owino. Beside this, Francis Atwoli came out also to weigh in on this issue. Francis Atwoli is among the few who will be the last people to lay blame on Sakaja. At least they can use every means to defend him just because he has a close relation with Sakaja. But Atwoli has been pissed off with the behavior of Sakaja, and he has been forced to speak about the issue we are facing in Nairobi. Sakaja is my son. When I see people attacking him, it pains me a lot as a father. I will try and restrain myself, but someone tells Sakaja that his father is not happy. The big issue that Kenyans are questioning in these very hard times is all about the National Disaster Management Funds. This is funds that have been devolved to counties. There is what national is remaining with, and there is what has been devolved to counties. Therefore, when you are facing disaster in your own county, first of all, before you ask about national government, you have to question what your governor is doing on ground, because there is money they set aside to deal with this issue. So, Senator Oroba is a nominated senator on UDA ticket and was trying to question how governors are using the National Disaster Management Funds. In counties, they will have the County Disaster Management Funds. How are they using before we put a blame on the national government? Because the truth is that, yes, we believe that the national government has failed when it comes to managing the disaster. That is true. But besides this, governors are hiding in this thing. They are not telling us how they are using the National Disaster Management Funds. Zile ziko kwa developed. Wanatumia kivipi? And this is what Senator Gloria Oroba shared. Dear Kenyans, in order to hold your leaders accountable with accuracy, take note of the following. The Public Finance Management Act states that 2% of county allocation be set aside by each county for disaster management emergency in every financial year. Here is the breakdown for disaster management funds for the following counties in this financial year. Nairobi County, they have 846 million. Sakaja ametumia M-Pesa. Nakuru County, they have 342 million. Susan Kika anatumia M-Pesa. Marsabit County, they have 174,925,219 Marsabit. Wamekuwa affected. How is the governor using that? Narok County, 298 million Kenyan shillings. Then we're talking about Murang'a County, 214 million Kenyan shillings. How are they using? Watuambie pesa za disaster management wanatumia kivipi? Unangoja watu paka wakufe ndio ukuje uanze kufukua mili ndio utumie pesa zingine kidogo kutulocate the rest. We saw people on rooftop of their houses when the floods were all over. We never saw any chopper airlifting these people, courtesy of the Nairobi County. Even in other areas it is happening. They can't even get a chopper to help. They cannot even coordinate with the national police or even the military. This is how she is finishing this. I have highlighted the following counties due to the fact that most of the rescue effort are within these counties. Before you ask what national government is doing, I urge you to ask what your governor is doing with the millions of shillings they have for disaster management. I think she just forgot to put there Machakos County. The funds have been released to counties. Zilishapeanwa kitambo. Then Babu Owino reacted on this, and this is what Babu Owino is saying here. Where is Nairobi's 846 million shilling meant for disaster management? Wamadimples bought unga and a mattress worth 400,000 Kenyan shillings and is claiming to be helping Nairobians. The city need a better leader, not a PR stance we are experiencing. Utaenda home mapema.
Where your home is, she has been there. So, Senator Gloria Oroba. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to be protected and my time preserved for my contributions. Madam Speaker, I have had the senators in the House reference that the government. They have been saying the government should do this, the government should do that. You know, this is the upper house. We are here because of the introduction of devolution. We went down to county governments. As a matter of fact, even the national disaster response was devolved. The funds were devolved down to county. And even if we are talking about delays on the disbursement of the monies from the exchequer to the counties, why are we not addressing the fact that the same counties, some of them who even received the same fund for the disaster management, even for the last year, cannot account for it? Why are we not talking about the on-source revenue? We were here legislating about the taxes that we collect on infrastructure, on commercial buildings. I think it was Senator Cheriot's bill in terms of framing the taxes that are, the levies that are put on commercial buildings and real estate and land. And Madam Speaker, no one is asking the hard questions. All the money, for instance, that is being collected from Nairobi County, led by our governor, Sakaja, Madam Speaker. It is Nairobi County that is a swimming pool. You want to tell me that we are not able to actually go and say, how difficult is it for you to clear the drainages? How expensive is it for you to ensure that the drainages that we have in Nairobi are not filled up with all the trash that is there? Madam Speaker, sometimes I think that we take the conversations to the wrong side. We can literally stand here and say, oh, the president, oh, national government. But if we keep reverting back to the national government, then are we also saying devolution is not working? Because if we cannot stand here and ask questions to the governors who have been given the powers, who have been given the resources, who have been given the funds, and we are never directing the questions to them, I would like to know, as a resident of both Kisii County and Nairobi County, I would like to know why in Nairobi we are swimming, yet we pay the highest taxes. Nairobi is the county that collects in own source revenue. That's the county that gives the highest amount of money. Yet, when these questions are being tabled, we are now going back to say, oh, the president. Where is Sakaja? Where is Governor Sakaja? We need to know. Is he also stuck somewhere in the floods? Because we want to know, is he using these roads that we are using to come to parliament? Because maybe perhaps he's forever in a chopper, Madam Speaker. So these questions that we are directing both to the national government, I want to urge these senators in this house, because they each come from a county, 47 delegations. Let them stand and tell us, by the way, in Machakos County, my governor has done ABCD, because they're also receiving disaster management funds. And the other question that we are not asking is, they want funds, they want funds. Do they have capacity to deal with resiliency plans? Do they even have resiliency plans? We have been given a tool by national government through the Ministry of Interior called the Kenya Initial Rapid Assessment, KIRA tool. This tool is supposed to give capacity to county governments to be able to anticipate and deal with disasters. I can tell you, yesterday I had some of the county officials of Nairobi County on a TV station talking about their plans on disaster management. They are referencing nothing. They are referencing no tools. They are referencing no resiliency plan. And I can tell you, we cannot keep pushing for money when we can't even ask the hard questions of where is the money actually going to. Madam Speaker, the only question I want to ask, and this one is specifically to Governor Johnson Sakaja, how difficult is it to clear the drainages on our roads? How expensive is it? Because you cannot have Oledume, all the areas of Kilimani, Kileleshwa, all up. You can't. It is impossible. Where is the money going to? So let us ask the difficult questions and let us hold the people responsible, particularly the governors, because this is a devolved function, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Manzo Daniel Kitonga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support this very important motion. I want to begin with Nairobi, that the county.
Now, I don't know your views on the same, but let us meet in the comment section to continue this discussion. Thank you so much and see you in our next video.